Commission, Chairman Sunil Kant Munjal, Mrs. Geeta Punjabi from Mumbai, Dr. Vandana Shahi, Mrs. Shivani Sachdeva, the moderator for today. Today is a very auspicious day for two reasons. One is today happens to be the National Education Day, which was the birthday of Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad, who was the first education minister. And to me, it signifies our effort to reformulate our education policy after we became independent. So this marks another milestone for us, and we visit this day every year to gather thoughts on what is the new direction for education policy. Second important reason for today is being auspicious is that Mr. Sunil Munjal is with us today. He is a business icon, everybody knows, but not many people know his very deep commitment to education and arts. I am very grateful to you, sir, for sparing your valuable time today to share your thoughts on a subject which is becoming increasingly important. I also welcome Mrs. Geeta Punjabi from Theo Kids Mumbai and Secretary of the Mumbai Early Childhood Care Society. She is one person who is associated with the early childhood education, having established over 340 preschools in India and helping the Association of Preschool Educators in constantly upgrading their skills. Dr. Vandana Shahi is principal of a K-12 school, leading school in Ludhiana. But not many people know that many years ago, when she took over as the principal of BCM school, Basant Avenue, she restructured the syllabi of KG school. And this syllabi was then adopted by many other schools and continues to be now the benchmark for early KG education in Ludhiana. The objective of today's webinar is to share with parents the importance of early parents, educators, and others who are interested in early childhood education, the importance of early childhood education. I am reminded of a large study, sir, that was conducted by Professor Toussaint George, and it is also a famous TED talk on how creativity declines over a period of time. So he tested 1600 school students, 1600 5-year-old students and found the level of creativity at 98%. And then on 10th year, I think it declines to 63%. And then on 15 years, it declined to 16%. And later adults, it goes as low as 2%, which is actually not right for a creative or knowledge society like we have in the 21st century. So we need to probably, and this study was later repeated by NASA, where they found a 3-year student, a 3-year child to be more creative than a 10th pass student. So clearly something is going wrong, and we are living in an age where creativity, problem solving, and divergent thinking have become the sine qua non of the modern society. So in this context, it is very important that we start with early childhood education in a way that the level of creativity is maintained over a period of time. The early childhood education in India is very unstructured. There have been efforts like by Theo Kids, Mrs. Geeta Punjabi in establishing very high quality schools. She has recently established a school for Raymond Group in Pune, in Thane, I believe. So, but if you look at the way early childhood education and care that is being done is in a very sporadic and unsystematic manner. There is need to structure, and in the new education policy also, there is focus on first time in the education policy, there is focus on early childhood education care and early childhood care and education. So what we are seeing is a rethinking, redesigning, and reworking on the needs of a systematic, structured childhood education program in the as per the new policy that has been announced in July 2020. To my mind, a child is a creative genius. If you look at closely a child, he observes everything that happens around him and her, and this is actually a very scary scenario, because as parents we sometimes do not think the impact of our behavior, our values, our sanskars on a small child, but the child is listening everything and is curiously observing what is happening all around him. One. Two, the early childhood sensibilities are very strong, and there is need to take care of these sensibilities. I believe in the coming years, we will see that this kind of new thinking on early childhood education and care will lead to a structured program of development which enables small children to prepare themselves for primary and secondary education and then professional education later. I have the pleasure of inviting Mr. Sunil Munjal. He is very busy and therefore I am very conscious about his time. He has postponed a meeting. We had actually worked out in the morning that he'll come a little later in between the session, but I am glad that he is setting the ball rolling with the discussions that are planned by Dr. Vandana Shahi and Mrs. Geeta Punjabi. Sir, I have pleasure to hand over the mic to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Kumar, Ms. Geeta Punjabi, Professor Vandana Shahi, Ms. Shivani Sachdeva, Mr. Rai, our team at the foundation, and the many who are listening and participating in today's session. We've often said that the real potential of the world lies in its people. And it's also quite well established that the potential of individuals is enormous. What we realize of that is what actually makes us what we are. And as we just heard from Dr. Prem Kumar, it is well established that children have far more creativity and intellectual hunger and a natural joy for life than we appear to have in our adult years. The question we need to ask ourselves is, what is it that we are doing which is dampening this spirit? What is it that holds us back from our true potential? How do you allow an individual to realize her or his full potential by giving them the right exposure, opportunities, and a facilitating environment? Now, since Dr. Prem Kumar quoted some research, I can tell you about a number of research initiatives that have been done. Interestingly, the one you're referring, Dr. Prem Kumar, is a little bit dated. There are two later ones which have now come in, which have established even better that that study underserved its purpose. They're saying the impact is even more profound than was earlier realized. Scientifically, technically, through studies of the brain, it has been well established. By the time an individual is about 5 years old, 80+% of the brain is fully formed. The rest of it is, of course, only exposure that we get in our lives. So the key is, what is it that we are doing at that age before the brain gets fully formed? And again, there are experiments where very young children were taken to the opera repeatedly. Young children were taken to theater repeatedly. Different children were shown different exposures. And they found, and later in life, they either had a passion for those that very area or became very, very skillful in those. There are 2 or 3 interesting phenomena that we find when you see young children. They seem to naturally smile and laugh at things. If you compare a child and somebody who's 20, 30, or 50 years old, you will see the distinct difference in how much joy a child seems to find in the life around them. They seem to be much more inquisitive than we are at advanced ages. Anything they want to touch and feel and smell and tumble over, it's a way of education, it's a way of learning, it's a way of exposing themselves. So I think the best that we can do as educators, as responsible adults and individuals which can help make this a better world, is to create a system where at a very young age, you allow them freedom to do this. At this moment, the system of early education is completely not standardized. I'm talking about India right now. Even in other countries, by the way, where they have the standards, they vary from country to country. There are some countries who actually discourage education at a very young age. So each one has got their reason and logic as to why they do that. We have chosen in our foundation to create a unique initiative in Ludhiana, which will give young children and their parents an opportunity to allow them to develop themselves, the opportunity to educate better as they get older and older. Now, how this can be done will, I guess, get explained. That's the idea of this session. We want to do this. We want to do it well, and we want to do it as a high quality community and public service. I was told there was some discussion going on about fees, little more, yes, no. The reality is, to set up and run an establishment of this nature, there is certainly going to be some cost. While these are not for profit, but all our expectation from these institutions is that they will be self-sustaining, that they will earn enough to be able to run themselves, modernize themselves, technologically keep evolving, because technology is one of the most amazing tools that has been offered to us in current times. The situation around the COVID-19 has accelerated the pace of adoption of technology in all aspects of life, and much more in things like education, healthcare, and communication than in many other areas. And we are sitting at the perfect junction of this right now in terms of timing, activity, intent, resourcing, and team. So if we can create a symbiotic relationship between all of these, I'm very confident that what we have set out to do will truly serve the community of Ludhiana, because we don't expect children from other places to come in here. But having experimented with one, we would not like to stop at one. We would like to go beyond this and see how we can continue, as we've always done, to serve the community and society better and better. I want to say a big thank you to our team, led by Mr. Rai and Dr. Prem Kumar, for readily agreeing to the team, for conceiving this, encouraging it, developing it, and bringing it to fruition. But we must remember, this is not the end. This is actually only the beginning. So what we do now in the early days will set the tone of how this will function in the long term. The methodology, the processes, the philosophy, the culture will all get established in the first few years. And therefore, it's important to do it right first time. You don't get a second chance to do it right first time. It's exactly the same with the very concept of early education. Is for each child, you have only one chance for their early childhood. Once it's gone, it's over. And we must remember, as educators, as coaches, as counsels, as seniors, as parents, our job is not just to mold children. Our job is to allow these individuals to unfold their potential, to truly tap into the enormous potential which is now fully acknowledged exists within each individual as they get born. So my good wishes to the entire team. Good luck and all the very best wishes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. You have mentioned the recent studies. Certainly, it has added to a larger perspective of how the children can actually be directed to develop those sensibilities, as you mentioned, fine arts, theater, and others, but just an exposure. When we come to the objectives of early childhood education, we have a few things in our mind. They are, for example, activate the child's own natural desire to learn. That is what we are setting as objectives for the BCM World Preschool, about which the chairman just spoke. So one is activate the child's own natural desires to learn. Second is lays foundation, sound foundation for physical and motor development of a child. Develop social skills, competence, and emotional well-being of a child. Prepare the child for smooth transition from home to ECCE center to formal schooling, preparing him for formal schooling. Imbibes good nutrition routines, health habits, hygiene practices, and self skills in children. I remember when I was studying, there was a research going on at my university where I was doing my doctoral work. This research was on locus of control, and the large study found that the children who have better childhood practices, parenting or in ECC centers, actually tend to do better in their later lives. So the early childhood education also fosters effective communication, which is both receptive and expressive in the young children, provides opportunities to explore, investigate, and experiment, ensure each child is valued, respected, feels safe and secure, promotes development and integration of the senses, stimulates intellectual curiosity, develops conceptual understanding of the world around the tiny tots, enhances scope for overall personality development. So we have set these objectives as the objective for the BCM World Preschool, and I am sure the fulfillment of these objectives will pave the way for setting up more such centers where the children of Ludhiana, the young children of Ludhiana or the tiny tots of Ludhiana have an opportunity to develop themselves as potentially great leaders who can lead a meaningful and purposeful life and can contribute in a big way to the Indian society and the global society as a whole. I have the pleasure of handing over the discussion to Shivani Sachdeva. She is head of the BCM World Preschool and is also an experienced person in the early childhood care and education. She has her own experiences which she will share while moderating the session. She is the moderator of the session. We have very eminent personalities, Mrs. Geeta Punjabi from Mumbai. I just mentioned she is so dedicated to the development of early childhood education in India that she travels across the country to establish quality preschools to help the society develop young children and create an impact on early school education. Dr. Vandana Shah is the other speaker. As I mentioned to you, Vandana is not only a leader of K-12 education, but she is also set the benchmark for the kindergarten school education and still is deeply involved in kindergarten school education. And she is also one of the resource persons for CBSE on various training programs for the teachers, including the KG school teachers. And we have the entire team from Hero Group Schools, the principals of the schools. I welcome them warmly to this interaction, and I'm sure all the participants in this event will have a much better view of how they as teachers, how they as parents, and how they as enlightened citizens can contribute to the development of children in their families to potential which minimizes actually the dysfunctionalities that happen in the society, enrich the early childhood care, And in this school, there is another important aspect, which is bringing in parents. We have a program where toddler and parent both can be part of the school. And by this way, a parent will get fully involved. And the school also has an objective of engaging with parents on exemplary parenting practices. I am very glad to hand over the forum to Shivani to conduct the further proceedings. Shivani.
Thank you so much, sir. And thank you to the chairman for sparing his time with us. I am so glad that he gave us his valuable time today. Rightly said by the chairman that children are not things to be molded. They are people to be unfolded. It takes a big heart to shape a little mind. Preschool basically makes children smarter, healthier, and happier. It makes them school ready, which is very important for the preschoolers. Access for children aged 2 to 6 years to a flexible, multifaceted, multi-level, play-based and activity-based education is utmost importance. That's the important which was felt because the first 5 years have so much to do with how the next 80 turn out to be. Felt by the management, by the chairman, and the people in the foundation. That's why the foundation of BCM World Preschool was led. BCM World Preschool aims to activate children's own natural desire to learn. The vision was to create a happy, safe, and stimulating setting where children are motivated to learn together. We give them wings to fly by adding colors to their dreams and the world around them. Let me take you to a tour of the school and see what has been created by the team BCM World Preschool. I request the technical team to please play the video of the school. Thank you so much for playing the video. Well, BCM World Preschool is a premier institution of LBCMF, that is Lala Bahadur Chand Munjal Foundation, the first preschool we have set up in the heart of the town. And the mission of the school is that the BCMites should not only lead the world, but they should first learn to lead themselves. With this, I would take the pleasure of introducing the first speaker of the session, that is Dr. Vandana Shahi, Principal, BCM Basant Avenue, Dugri, Ludhiana. She is a leader in herself, and she believes that BCMites should be the leaders of tomorrow. Her topic for today is raising Gen Z. Yes, we all are Gen Z people, and this topic is very important today. I hand over the mic to Dr. Vandana. Ma'am, you can please continue, and you can unmute yourself first and continue with what you need to put a light on this topic and throw us into a niche where we can see what is Gen Z and how it is important to raise Gen Z.
Thank you, Shivani. And a very good morning to each one of you, everyone on YouTube, and to all those who are watching us, who have joined us on Facebook Live. First of all, I would like to wish you all a very, very happy festive season. Have a great time with your family. Enjoy yourself, but at the same time, stay safe and stay healthy. That's very important. With almost everything open now in India and Diwali coming this weekend, everybody is too excited for the shopping. And I would request all of you, at least two things you need to do. One is please follow all the guidelines to avoid the spread of COVID. That is first thing. And second is, please do not be the reason for the poor air quality of your city. Please celebrate Green Diwali. Remember that your children are watching you, and your children are going to do whatever they see you doing, not whatever we are preaching to them. Because, you know, the values are caught, they are never taught. Whenever I talk to the young parents, especially the parents of these preschool and kindergarten going children of that particular age, I'm always reminded of a scene from a Bollywood movie, Ferrari Ki Sawari. I hope many of you must have seen that. Sharman Joshi is going with his 3-year-old son. Scooter पे अपने बच्चे के साथ जा रहा है. Because he is in hurry, suddenly वो एक accidentally by chance एक red light को jump कर जाता है. And he looks around, इधर उधर देखने पे उसको कोई ट्रैफिक हवलदार वहां पे नहीं मिलता. He goes, जल्दी से आगे जाता है, and he goes to the second red light. There he sees a traffic police standing there, and he goes to him and says कि सर आप मेरा चालान काट दीजिए. He says आपने क्या किया है? He said मैंने रेड लाइट जंप किया. He said आप तो रेड लाइट के इस तरफ खड़े हो, रेड लाइट जंप कहाँ किया? He said मैंने पीछे रेड लाइट जंप किया. तो अगर पीछे किया है, कोई खड़ा था वहां पे, कोई ट्रैफिक वाला था? Said no, there was nobody. So then he said कि अगर तुम्हें किसी ने देखा ही नहीं तो तुम चालान क्यों कटवाना चाहते हो? And he said कि मेरे बच्चे ने मुझे देखा है. And I don't want कि पूरी जिंदगी मेरा बच्चा ये सोचे कि it's okay not to follow the traffic rules और आप इस तरीके से बच के निकल सकते हो. And this is how we impart the value education to our children. सिर्फ यही तरीका है, as I said. Please allow me to share my presentation with all of you. See, I'm sure that everyone, each one of us, we want our children to be happy human being successful in life, and good citizens. But for that, catching them young, it is very, very important. It is very important. And as Shri Sunil Kantji Munjal, our chairman, just now talked about raising children. Of course, you must have heard that it is an art, and he said it is science also. So this is what I want to tell you all today. Parenting जो है वो सिर्फ art नहीं है, उसमें there is lot of science involved, and as parents of these young children, you need to know about that. And the first thing that is required is to know the brain development. As he also mentioned, see, the newborn has a quarter of adult brain. At the age of 3 years, it is almost 80%. At the age of 5, it is almost 90%. Look at this at the age of 5. And if we see this particular age, which is around 1 year to 7 years, this is the most crucial age where we need to take a lot of care, because as Shivani also mentioned about this thing, ki abhi ini, yes. I'm sorry, I have been told that my screen is not visible. Just 1 minute, please. Just a minute. I'm doing it again, please. Is it visible now? Okay. Sorry for this glitch. So, I was telling you that raising children, it is not only an art, it is science also. And talking about the brain development, I told you that newborn has quarter of adult brain, By the age of 3, it is 80% of the adult, and by the age of 5, it is 90% of the adult. And I was mentioning to you about this age, which is approximately 1 to 7 years. It is very, very crucial. The development in this age is very crucial, and some expert advice, some expert training is required. I'll tell you why. I was talking about in terms of the brain cells. I think you all know that brain cells are called as neurons. And by this age, it is around 1,000 trillion nerve cells are already formed. Just look at this. And you all know that life starts from a single cell. I'm talking about a little bit of science because according to me, at least this much you know. Now all these cells, they have the same genetic code. बिल्कुल एक जैसे होते हैं क्योंकि लाइफ शुरू ही एक सेल से होती है. But even then, with the same genetic code, कैसे फर्क पड़ जाता है कि ब्रेन जो है किसी का अच्छा काम करेगा और किसी का not so good in the years to come, not only in these 7 years, in the years to come, because experiences affect the formation of connections. Brain cells, they have the connections between them. This formation of connections in turn is going to affect the intellectual, emotional, psychological, physiological, and physical responses. Means all kind of responses that a person is going to give later in life, not only in these 7 years. This is to be remembered, but this all depends on all these experiences that the child is having in early childhood. So that means early childhood brain development has a lifelong impact. That is why it is science. It is to be taken care at this age. And the current global thinking is towards focus on, as Sunil Kanji also mentioned, that different countries are thinking about early childhood education in different ways. But this is the prime focus now, that first 1,000 days of the life for the optimal brain development, they are very crucial. And the need is to tap on this particular age group. And in the national education policy also, now our country also has started realizing its need, and the draft that came in 2019 for the national education policy, it has got the first chapter in early childhood education. And this policy also emphasizes the criticality of early years and aims to ensure quality early childhood care and education for all children. I think that is why probably Aristotle also once said that give me a child until 7 and I'll show you the man, because these years are actually very important. Now, let me tell you that how does this early childhood education, it makes a difference. To me, early childhood educator is like a tailor. Please try to understand that when you go out, when you go to the market to do some shopping for your child, आप बच्चे के लिए ड्रेस खरीदने के लिए जाना चाहते हो, you have two options. Either you take a ready-made dress or you go to the tailor for the stitching. If you go for ready-made, you will get sizes like 32, 34, 36, and you do not have any other choice than selecting one out of them which best suits, which best fits. But what does the tailor do? Tailor will take the measurements. You never know that the size of your child is 32 and a half. It is 36 and 1/4. So the early childhood education, what they would, these educators, what they would do, they will customize the education for you, because they have that much of time. The class size is less, and you know, individual attention, which actually is required is at this stage, they are able to give that individual attention. And what other things the educators are doing, they build the trust of your little ones. After all, later in life, after 5 years, they have to go for the formal schooling. So every school experiences this thing, that if a child is coming directly from home, is a very, very differently behaving child than the one who comes from a preschool. Because what this early childhood educator, what this teacher does is it forms positive relations with your child and ensures that the first classroom is safe, welcoming and a nurturing place. और उसके बाद बच्चे का एक्सक्यूज मी, बच्चे का जो असली स्कूल है उसमें जाने का डर खत्म हो जाता है, और एटलीस्ट इट इज रिड्यूस्ड. एंड देन ऑल्सो बाय हेल्पिंग द किड्स टू मेक फ्रेंड्स एंड वर्क टुगेदर, they teach how to share, they teach how to resolve the conflicts. You know, our society has now become that we have the nuclear families. In the nuclear families, sometimes there is only one child. Sharing, which is something very, very important for the children to learn, they don't learn. पता ही नहीं चलता उनको कि हमें toys share भी करने हैं, हमें कुछ और whenever we fight, so we need to resolve the conflicts and we can do it ourselves. They learn it here, and how to express their thoughts, their opinions, their feelings in effective manner, and also how to solve the problems in groups. Now the time is where, you know, in all kinds of jobs, you have to work as a team. You have to work in a group. So working in a group also, the child learns here only. And bullying also has become one of the biggest problem, because at this age, इस उम्र के अंदर बच्चे बिल्कुल घबराते नहीं है बात करने से. So once they learn to report it to the teacher, or they also learn that bullying is not a good habit. And maybe not only, I won't say maybe, and it is definite that once they go to the school, they are already trained about such things. And then working on fine motor and gross motor skills. This is very, very important. Gross muscles are the muscles of hands and legs, and fine is when you fine tune them, like fingers and wrists. It's only the expert who knows. जैसे कि I think many of you know, might be knowing it, कि 3 साल तक बच्चे को पेंसिल नहीं पकड़ानी चाहिए. And that is the reason, you know, the crayons are given to them, and that too for scribbling, not for writing, because teaching in the play school is not a rocket science. We are not going to teach them math, science, or any other subject. It is basically the training. It is basically the expert training how they have to go to the schools. So these are certain activities that they learn, which would help them develop their gross and fine motor skills, and leads to a lot of coordination, eye-hand coordination, balance, and all that. This is all these things the children, they learn in the preschool. Then preschool educators, they also help the kids build their self-confidence and become independent. As parents, and especially about such small children, we are very possessive. We always think कि ये छोटा सा बच्चा ये काम नहीं कर पाएगा. But the early childhood educator, what they would do, they would encourage the child. They'll be encouraging him or her to take up the task independently, and they'll make them feel empowered each day. However, holding the hands whenever necessary. See, it applies for adults also, that if you have to boost the confidence, you need to do such things which you have never done before, or you need to do such things which you think that you cannot do. So if, you know, in case of children, it is about very, very small tasks, but it definitely boosts the confidence of the child. Then setting kids up for future academic success. Once again, when I talk about the word academic, it does not mean teaching and learning of various subjects. It is basically the training, how to sit still and concentrate on the task for a set period of time, because later on they have to do it in the school. How days are divided in work, play, food, clean up, because घर के अंदर बहुत informal सा atmosphere होता है. At least there is something formal that they start learning here itself. Then how to listen to and follow the instructions. You know, listening skills is one of the most important component of communication skills. और आजकल के बच्चों को ये समझानी बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है. And then how to stay away from the family for much of the day. Although in the preschools we start with a shorter period, at least with that short period they learn how to stay away when they go to the main school. So in nutshell, I would like to say that intervention of experts and institutional support at the early years is very important to boost the development potential of a nation. Brookings Institute in Washington, D.C. has emphasized the following points for early childhood education. One is intervene early, intervene often, and intervene effectively. So early and effective, both are very important. The expert advice, the expert training, because we cannot, if it is so important, you have seen the science behind the development of the brain. If the development of brain, it occurs, most of it occurs in the early years only, we cannot and we should not just leave it on to us, because we are not those experts. So that expert advice, it is a must. So programs that enhance the early brain development are important if we wish to establish prosperous, healthy, equitable, tolerant, pluralistic, sustainable, and democratic societies. Thank you very much. And once again, I wish you all a very, very happy Diwali. God bless you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your words and whatever approaches you've told us with your presentation. All your words we'll take into consideration and make this institution something to be looked by the people of Ludhiana. I would take the pleasure of inviting the second speaker for the session today, Miss Geeta Punjabi from Mumbai. She's the founder of Theo Kids, founder of parenting.in, secretary of Early Childhood Association. Already Dr. Kumar has given a lot of introduction about her, but still I would say that she founded Theo Kids in 2013, and she's also has the pleasure of setting up a preschool in London by the name Little Champs, and which is based on EYFS Standards UK. She is a curriculum developer and associated with BCM World Preschool, since the curriculum for this school is an organized curriculum and international in standard, which has been prepared by Ms. Geeta Punjabi herself. Ma'am, you can please enlighten us with your topic today, that is pedagogical approaches in early childhood education. You can unmute yourself, please.
Thank you so much, Shivani, for all the warm welcome. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm really, really highly delighted and pleased to be part of this interactive and esteemed panel. And a very big thanks to Mr. Prem Kumar, Mr. Miss Vandana Sahi, and on top of all, Mr. Sunil Kant Munjal, Mr. Rai, who's the really the center of this organization, and Mrs. Vandana Sahi, and not but the least, Shivani Sachdev, who has been a wonderful, wonderful association all along in preparing and readying the BCM school in Ludhiana. So it was a wonderful opportunity for me when I was invited by Mr. Prem Kumar for this school, and I really, really loved working this entire year in working about the school. So what is education? Education is not preparation for life. education is life itself. That is said by John Dewey. Yes. So we have to make our life as an education. So wish you all the panelists, all the viewers, a very, very happy COVID safe free Diwali with perfect social distancing and victory of light over COVID, health over corona, and knowledge over ignorance. So all the parents and all the educators, all of y'all are really looking forward for opening up the schools. So just as Lord Rama and his wife Sita found their way home after the defeat of Demon King Ravana, their way lit by millions of lamps, so we shall also find our way through this COVID and shall do so triumphantly, God willing. We'll have our little tots, our students and teachers, the lifelines of our schools and the facilitators back to normal. All the best. Happy Diwali. Have a great year ahead with the new dreams and aspirations. So I just have let this session be an interactive. So suppose if you participated in sports in school, I'm confident your coach did not seat you in padded chairs in an air conditioned room, but got behind his lectern and said, "Today, boys and girls, I'm going to teach you the game of football." Is it? Did he sit behind an air conditioned room and teach the students? He probably put them on the field and let them experience the exhilaration of catching a touchdown pass or the agony of a hard tackle. He let them learn by the game, by experiencing themselves. That's our job. That's our job as teachers. Our job is to set up experiences so that learners discover for themselves, as it was very well put by Miss Vandana, Mr. Prem, that early childhood is very, very important, and I agree with them 100%. So the challenge lies with us in setting up the experiences that are provoking and challenging for children and helping them in achieving the learning goal. Now, how do preschoolers learn? How do they learn? How do they achieve? So, as told by Miss Vandana, I agree. In the early years, children's brains form twice as many synapses as they will eventually need. If these synapses are used repeatedly in a child's day to day life, they are reinforced and they become a part of the brain's permanent circuitry. If they are not used repeatedly, they are eliminated. So our brain works on the basis of use me or lose me. So parents, do we want to lose our children's brain? Of course, no. We want them to be the perfect, the most intelligent brains. So why not to wire them? And what is the best way of wiring these brains? The best way of wiring these brains is to put them in the best of the preschool. And a preschool plays a crucial role in wiring a young child's brain by the age 3. Panelists and parents, do you all know children have about 15,000 synapses per neuron, 3 times the synapses of an adult? And these connections occur as the child learns to coordinate its muscles, to develop its sensory system, vision, hearing, touch, smell, and taste, and to acquire the language capability. The number of connections is important because such connections allow people to store experiences, form memories, think and solve problems, all of which are part of the development of cognitive processes. Emphasizing on the long lasting effect of stimulation on children's potential, Begley states children whose neural circuits are not stimulated before kindergarten are never going to be what they could have been. Thus, sensory stimulation directly impacts maximizing young children's potential to be at their very best individual capacity. So, what is a pedagogy? Why do we put our children in a school? Is pedagogy same as teaching? Pedagogy, one of the most important, powerful pedagogical examples is where teachers and students produce the work and learning together. The teacher becomes more of a mentor or a coach, helping the students achieve the learning goal. Another effective example of pedagogy is collaboration. So, the five major approaches of pedagogies are constructive, collaborative, integrative, reflective, and inquiry based learning, which gives the child the best opportunity to perceive and to proceed and to experience the education. So, education is not only learning but experiencing. I guess education is just learning what is in syllabus of the textbooks in the school, while pedagogy helps the teacher to evaluate the behavioral aspects and promotes appropriate strategy in teaching students with different learning abilities. That is a pedagogy. Now, what Henrik Pestalozzi is the father of modern pedagogy. What is a good pedagogy? Effective pedagogies involve a range of techniques, including whole class and structured group work, guided learning, and individual activity. Effective pedagogies focus on developing high order thinking and metacognition and make good use of dialogue and questioning in order to do so. So, what is the other word for pedagogy? What are the synonyms? The other word for pedagogy and the synonym is be prepared for teaching. Pedagogy is an important part of teachers' profession. So we have used. So what are the different pedagogies in early childhood which are available? They are Montessori, multiple intelligence, theory of multiple intelligence, project approach by Dr. John Dewey, and y'all know our very own Gijubai Badeka, who really supported the early child education in India a lot, and Mahatma Gandhi. So Mahatma Gandhi's pedagogy was correlation, and Gijubai Badeka integrated Montessori with correlation and with a lot of other experiential activities, and formed a different pedagogy in India, and he was the leader of the pedagogies. And the, other theories by Piaget. Piaget is a very good, his pedagogy of cognitive studies. After that, we have EYFS system. EYFS system is a pedagogy developed by UK, based on which they have developed their national curriculum. Now, as Mr. Prem Kumar pointed out and Mr. Munjal pointed out, that preschool is very unstructured field. Yes. So few countries have really made it very structured, where it is like in UK, where they have developed the EYFS pedagogy, and New Zealand, where Tehvariki has been developed. Tehvariki is also another very good pedagogy on which New Zealand is working. Finland also has developed their own pedagogy. Then there is another pedagogy called Waldorf, Reggio Emilia, and we have many schools in the world based on Dalton, and like this. Definitely, there are many pedagogies of the world. Now, what does Montessori believe? Montessori believes on sensorial. Everything the child learns, everything sensorially. Theory of multiple intelligence of Howard Gardner, he believes that no child is dumb. All children are having the unique sense of development. They have the unique talents in them, and all 9 intelligences can contribute to a lot to the society. And what are we in our traditional schools? We only emphasize on two intelligences, that is literacy and numeracy. Do you think a person who scores a 95% in the exam, in the 10th standard board exam or a 12th standard board exam, is a whole individual or is a whole child? No, because he is being assessed only on the literacy and the numeracy. What about the other 7 intelligences? Do you all know what are the 7 other intelligences? 7 other intelligences are the interpersonal, the intrapersonal, the spatial, musical, kinesthetic, naturalistic, and so on. Do you all know that Sachin Tendulkar, he was very fairly poor in his literacy achievement or mathematical or other paths, but today he is world renowned because of his kinesthetic skills. And the best part of it is that in Maharashtra, in 10th standard board textbook, the first chapter in English is on Sachin Tendulkar. And whereas he himself was only brilliant in his kinesthetic intelligence, but then too he shined. So why not we give opportunity to our children to shine and to come up with their other intelligences? A.R. Rahman, who is the music director, he's the only Oscar award winner in India. Because of what? Musical intelligence. So why not to give music to the preschool children? Yes, surely we can do. Our own Prime Minister Narendra Modi, does he have a very big background of literacy, numeracy? No. He is excellent in his interpersonal and intrapersonal skills. So from an interpersonal and intrapersonal with his skills, from a tea vendor today, he is the Prime Minister of the country. So why not to focus on interpersonal and intrapersonal skills of the kids in the schools? Yes, and that should be started from the very early years. The early years will contribute, and by giving the free play time of the interpersonal and intrapersonal, we develop their intrapersonal intelligence, and the children will get the best of it. Spatial intelligence. What is spatial intelligence? The art. We develop great architects. So with the spatial, let us develop their spatial intelligence, their social intelligence. Interpersonal intelligence is another name for social intelligence, and the emotional intelligence. So are we teaching children to name the emotions when they are young, when they're early years? Let us teach them. So that is the theory of multiple intelligence, where every child is unique with their unique intelligence. And each one of us, God has given us multiple intelligences which we can explore, and we can become extremely successful in life, not in terms of money, but in every way. Yes. So then comes EYFS. EYFS integrated Montessori, multiple intelligence, and the various other thoughts, and they came up with the national curriculum, which is one of the best curriculums in the world. Even Tehwariki was the same. And John Dewey's project method, which is being done in most of the IB schools right now. It is the project method where the teacher is just a guide. She's just a mentor, and all the activities are done by the students. And the students do the project, and by the interactive method, they really come up well, and they do well. And in our own BCM preschool, we have done the same. We have come up with a very interactive curriculum. So what a curriculum should be like? A curriculum in the ideal sense should allow the children to blossom and give way for the freedom to express, freedom to expression. It should not only lay down the guidelines, what the children need to learn, but should be able to create an ideal environment to facilitate learning. All this can happen only if the curriculum is developed, kept in mind how the way the children learn, then what they should be taught and what they should not be taught. So, in the BCM curriculum, we cater to the age group 1 to 6 years based on the principles of child development, Piaget's theory of intellectual development, Reggio Emilia's approach focused on pre-primary and primary education, Dr. Maria Montessori's method, which is child-centered and based on sensory motor activities, Dr. Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence, and the curriculum progresses for 180 days, considering that fact that every school celebrates every festival along with holidays, and each topic or the theme for the month takes care of the language, numbers, socio-emotional, creative, and cognitive skills. Apart from that, our curriculum includes suggestions from storybooks, which are to be used by the teachers to enhance the behavioral attributes of the children. For every topic that is to be taught, for any creative or social activity, objective and an aim is mentioned, materials required. Assessment sheet is provided and assessments are very strong. And we also have included the science awareness skills, the social awareness skills, the general knowledge skills, emotional and behavioral skills, physical skills, creative skills, and also the highlight is that we have STEM, brain gym around the world, and yoga, Zumba as a part of our curriculum. It includes list of celebrations, festivals, and the different events, and also everything has been designed as per the new NAP policy. So exercises of practical life, language skills, cultural, biology, geography, logic, mathematics, sensorial, everything is a part of the curriculum. The playway method has been integrated beautifully, and curricula focuses on the unstructured hands-on activities that allows for freedom of expression, and a long unit to teach children about birds, art projects, animals, and different things. Then there is integration of SAPSI concepts. S stands for STEM, A for around the world, P for phonics, jolly phonics, Z for Zumba, and Y for yoga. So that's the curriculum highlights. Plus, we have been also, the curriculum has been, accredited by NAYC, CAYC, ECA UK, and NZTC, and various international organizations. We have fully technological support, and it's supported, integrated, and customized curriculum, and supported by ETL. ETL is again a technological thing which really enhances the curriculum with talking books and with various videos and apps which really enhances the child. We also plan in BCM, we have planned a daycare curriculum which has been carefully developed, ensuring the safety, security, health, and happiness of the children in the mind. So it would be a total amalgamation of multiple intelligence, inquiry based learning, experiential learning, with the emphasis on intellectual, emotional, cognitive, and aesthetic development of the child. So, I think so. We really have covered everything. We are also having a special parent toddler program in this based on all these pedagogies and various activities, including the baby school, parachute play, language games, and lot of other focuses with all the different pedagogies in the curriculum. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful words and insights. We'll be working on them, and already working with you is a pleasure for me. Learning a lot from you and how to tackle this curriculum, which has a lot many approaches all together combined for BCM World Preschool. We have a lot many programs here. The most important and the foremost is the parent toddler program, which is a new thing for Ludhiana, wherein a child can come to the preschool with the mother for some time, starting initially for 1 hour and then gradually making it to 2 to 3 hours. They can stay in the school with the help of the teacher, and they'll be provided a nanny as well. But they have an organized and structured curriculum to follow. This is something new for Ludhiana. Otherwise, we have toddler program, we have playgroup and nursery. All the three programs are there in the school. We do offer a daycare center, which also has a structured curriculum, and an evening activity center as well. Concluding now, because a lot of time has been taken up, I would say that as you said, ma'am, Vandana ma'am said, and Mr. Munjal said, there's a big saying which says every child counts. Yes, every little child is a unique and divine entity full of potential and promise. Lala Bahadur Chand Munjal Foundation strives to create a pool of impeccable schools that practice and promote quality of learning. The foundation handholds all centers of education through their entire journey of becoming centers of learning excellence. Our learning centers empowers children with traits such as leadership, confidence, self-belief, responsibility, compassion, empathy, and integrity. BCM Centers of Education, I earlier also said, prepares young children to lead themselves before they lead the world. That's what we want to achieve. And now I would again take you to the school so that you can see what facilities we are offering in terms of maybe it's brain gym, we have a language lab, we are following ETL system from USA, then the sand playroom, which is an inside sand playroom. That is, the sand is treated and the children are exposed to Mother Earth as well. We are covering both the aspects. Ample space we have for the outdoor play. We have indoor soft playroom. We have indoor ball pool for the children. I would take you to the school tour once again so that you can see the school and come to us for your toddler needs. Thank you so much for joining us today. And in the end, I would say that I am thankful to all the principals also who have been a support to me in this journey. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. A big thanks to the technical team for the support they have given us today. Thank you, all the principals of BCM institutions, Dr. Vandana Sahi, Ms. Geeta Punjabi from Mumbai for joining us today and giving us your valuable insights, Dr. Prem Kumar, Mr. Rai, and above all, I would thank Mr. Sunil Kant Munjal, the chairman, Lala Bahadur Chand Munjal Foundation, who spared his valuable time for us today. And I would request everyone to please visit our website because we are following all the COVID guidelines. Anyone who wishes to come and visit the school can come. Please do visit the website, see for the upcoming updates, what events and what new we are going to prep up for you all. Thank you. Thanks for joining us today, and a very happy and green Diwali to all of you. Thank you so much.